Alright, g'day there. I'm Richard Musgrave-Evans and welcome back. Today I'm going to be painting a coastal scene again. This time it's where country living meets the ocean. Fantastic. Got that beautiful rural setup where you've got the sheep grazing on the paddocks, the midsummer high noon, and then you've got that tranquil contrast of beautiful coastal scenery. Fantastic stuff. Alright, now today I'm going to be painting on a board again, white prime board. And I'm going to be using a combination of palette knife and brushes. Okay, while I'm getting the paint out of the tins and just getting everything put onto the palette and set up ready to go, let's just quickly go for a drive down and have a look at the beach itself. If I can stay on target here, hang on, take that corner, nice. It's quite a nice little township, Maiponga Beach it's called. And yeah, right on, got a north facing angle. It's a really nice little township. Now, I'd better slow down in a minute so I don't get done for any speed limits or end up in the drink. Hang on, there we go. Alright, so we're down the bay and you can see it's just a nice small little beach with a beautiful jutting out headland, nice tranquil waters, great location. Alright, you must be ready to go by now. Let's get back up there. Now what I've basically done is I've set myself up just on the edge of the road here, so I've got a nice composition with the road leading in and then jutting out to these headlands, and then you've got the beautiful coast and then the headland out here in the distance. Really not a bad little spot. Okay, so I've just blocked in the biggest differences very quickly just to get myself, sorry, not the biggest differences, I've just blocked in a few of the darker tones just to compose the picture, and so in my head I can already see what I want to do. So basically I've just started off with warmer colours in the foreground and then receding to cooler colours as it goes off, painting the darker shadows, and then I'll paint the oil or the light source over the top of that. Alright, so what I might do now is get another knife out. What do we got? This palette knife here, medium sort of size knife. Okay, now it's a very still day and there's a lot of kind of haze. It's a sunny day, but as you can see there's a lot of haze, so I might start painting a bit of that haze in by getting some yellow ochre and white and burnt sienna. Let's have a look what we've got here. Right up in the sky and just here. Could go a little bit lighter. It's quite washed out today, so I'm going to use a bit more white. Maybe even a tad more white. Mix, mix. I'll just put a bit of this in, just blocking in with the knife. We'll get to some brushwork later on. I'll use a fair bit of this yellow ochre in the sky today because there's, like I said, a lot of haze, so it seems to be the right thing to do. Just go by feel for each different subject. There's a fair bit in the water too, so just put some of that in. You can see what I'm doing, yeah. Okay, just get that across. Try and establish that horizon line early on, so kind of know where it is. Right. Now, what I might do is get a bit of blue and white. Really light tone here, so I'll mix up blue, maybe a touch of magenta. Let's just see what we've got here. I'll just put some in. Yeah, right. Okay. White Bit of turquoise over here with that, magenta and blue. Just applying it over the top of that yellow ochre. So it's kind of like a blend of both of them. Just getting it all in for now, the basic block colours. I'll work all the rest out later. Bit of a lighter tone here. What do we got? Nice hazy day, very pale sky, very washed out today. A bit cleaner blue as it goes up to the top, so I just add a bit more blue to the mix. Not too much, I'm going to get too carried away with that. Yeah, that's almost a bit too much, a bit more white. There's a lot of white today, a heck of a lot of white. Okay, get that in. What I might do, hang on, we got go to this brush here. Just mix up a bit of a neutral colour here, blues and magentas. Just want to paint that hazy horizon there. Go a little bit lighter in tone. Even lighter than that really. Okay, let's go lighter then. It's all about getting the tones right, particularly when you're painting on a day like this where it's all about varying subtle tones. I've got a bit of that yellow ochre moved across now because that is getting a kind of hazy, it's a hazy blue, but because it's mixed with atmosphere, it's getting some of that hazy yellow ochre-y sort of atmospheric distant colour mixed in with it. Basically getting the feel of the colour and tone. I'll get the draftsmanship a little bit more correct in a minute. Slightly darker as it gets here and higher. Alright, I'll stand back and have a look. It's not too bad. Now what I'm going to do is, straight away, what do I got out? Stick all these palette knives here for now. Just going to grab a brush, just do a little bit of blending here. Blending that yellow ochre, burnt sienna-y mix. Established, like blending the two together, so it's a combination, well hopefully it's a combination of both of those colours. Hang on, let me just get this horizon right. Ooh, there we go. Right, now the sky is a lighter tone slightly. I'm just going to rub that clean with the knife just to make sure. Rub the brush clean with the paper towel to make sure I keep the tone light here. Now I just half blend these colours in. Rub it clean, let's have a look here what we got. Just establishing that line. Now I just basically do some colouring in, fill in the gaps here. Now you're getting a combination there of those two tones, or colours or whatever, and you can see it in the sky there itself. So I've kind of got that. Now I've done a lot of long brush marks, I'm just going to shorten up a bit. Break the form up a little bit so it's not too monotonous. I'll stand back and take a look at that. too bad, it's getting there, hang on. It's really going to soften that edge as it goes off into the distance. There's a lot of distance there and it's really hazy today. Alright, got this one in the bin. Okay, let's make up some of this grass colour next, which is definitely burnt sienna and yellow ochre, but because it's getting near the end of summer and there hasn't been much rain, all that beautiful golden grass is actually starting to go a little bit greyer. So instead of being a really strong kind of yellow ochre burnt sienna colour, it's a bit greyer. So I've got my mix over here of yellow ochre and burnt sienna, but then I've added this other little slightly greyed mix just to knock it back a bit. Plenty of white. Let's just see what we've got. See, that's some weird colour I just made up there. We don't want that. Too much purple in that. A bit more yellow ochre. I'm going to go for a bigger knife. I just like using the big knife. I don't know, it's just my thing, I guess. Right, so yeah, there's more yellow ochre than that, so I'll put that in. Now I feel better. Yeah, that's better, got the knife. A few upward strokes to give the illusion of some grass just on the edges here. And same here, what do we got? Plenty of paint flying around there. Just trying to colour in here. Get rid of some of that white. Okay, now. Just using random strokes. Yep, coming along. Some white, just a neutral type of grassy tone. Got to work out what's going on here with all the different grassmanship. Now those trees there are those ones are over there, okay. A bit more burnt sienna and yellow ochre in that. A lot of subtle tones when you're working in nature. You can see it a lot better than if you're working from a photo. Get that headland. Yeah, fill in some of these areas. I'll work with that in a minute, what I'm doing. I'm just sort of basically colouring in the big impression. Bit more white and yellow ochre on this side, it's a little bit richer there. Cleaner grass and the sun's hitting it rich, stronger, so put it in. There's some nice farm buildings there. I don't know if you can see them in the camera. But there is some classic farm buildings just on the edge. Let's have a look, what can you see? You might be able to see a little bit just here, yeah. Alright. Now, just in that little bay, where are we? That little bay there, there's a lot more subtlety there of shallow water. So there's a little bit more turquoise thrown in. Because there's not a lot of wind, you're getting a real reflection on the sky. You're not seeing into the water that much, so it's not a strong, deep colour today. It's more of a reflection of the sky. But still, there is a subtle type of green and purple. The green being the bottom where the sand is, and the purple being the seaweed. mix up a bit of that purple over here with some cobalt blue and magenta. Keep it a light tone, don't go too dark, it's all very subtle like I said. When you put those subtleties in, makes the painting there's a lot more subtlety in the painting then. So I'll go for more of that turquoise colour. Let's have a look. Just gradually introduce it, let it fade off into the distance. And just finish off that headland over here that I didn't quite get to. Second part of this headland. Some more white in the mix. Yep. Grey it off right on the edge. There's kind of a grey browny colour, so I introduced some of those greys from over here that I knocked up. That's in there. There. Also in there. Now, get some strong yellow ochre and white. What are we doing here? We're getting a bit too much mud. I might just pull it back a little bit. What you can do is just take a bit of paint off and use the palette knife. By pulling the paint back, you start to draw some of the draftsmanship that you may want or you may have lost, like I just did. Use my fingers there. Palette knife's good for taking paint off as well as adding paint, so you can do things like that. Some beautiful. Very subtle tones here. So what I'm doing is I'm knocking the colours back. It's a very subtle thing. I'm using blues, magentas, half mixing them into those grass colours, because the paddocks in the distance here are so hazed out by today's haze and so far away that they've got to be knocked back a lot to make it convincing. Down here there's a beautiful reflection there because there's no wind in the distance, so that headland is really reflecting today. Whoops, glove or whatever on my finger, take that off. Good. Now just going to keep drawing the shape of this. Go for a really light tone. I'm going to paint, there's a bit of beach in the distance, but it's a long way away, so it's quite keyed down. Just at the base of this cliff here in the distance. Just got the knife on edge. There's some pure white highlights out there too. The sun's hitting the roofs of the houses and who knows what. I won't get too carried away with pure colour, pure white out there, but I will put a little bit. Hang on. Let's go another round. What do we got here? Go to that. Pull that there. That's it. Okay, I'll leave that for now and start working on all the closer stuff. Now, the beach is a beautiful light tone, so I'm going to use cad yellow and white to make it a really high key. Let's see what colours the beach. Yep, there we go. Just a little twang more yellow, not too much. Take some of the paint off to shape the beach. Now, there's a bit of a nice little dark headland jutting out. Some black rocks just jutting out on the edge of that headland there, so let's bang them in. It's like the head of a dolphin almost. See it popping out there like that. Take some paint off there. Now I've got that blue underneath. As I'm taking the paint off, I'm revealing that. Hang on, we'll just go that in. With the knife I'm pulling the paint back just here, and what that's doing is it's painting the trees back in because underneath I've got the dark tone. So I can pull like this, which I'm doing. There's a little township down the bottom there where the beach is, with a few trees and buildings. So now I'm pulling back to get that dark shadow colour of, hang on, just finish this headland. Yeah, underneath, because I've got the blue there, I've got the shadow colour now of the distant trees. Now I'll throw in a bit of the light source. Yellow ochres and greens. What have we got here? It's a fairly keyed down bluey green today. A bit more magenta and white to key it back. Every day is different. Every day is different. There's some beautiful rooftops down there in the township too, which I'll put in soon. But before I do that, move all these brushes to one side. Right, what do we got here? Get some white, finish off getting the painting all blocked in first. So there's that beautiful road. There's a very light tone today. We'll just move that out of the way for a minute. Much easier way to get the paint on. Okay, what have we got here? Bit of burnt sienna and yellow ochre. Just a few upward flicks to give the edge of where the road is. There's a bit of light and shadow getting caught on there. Couple of darker tones on the edge here to show where the road is. Let's put that little puppy back there for now. I'll work all that out later. I might now clean this one up. Stick that back there, look at that. Right. Now let's have a look what we got. Okay. Looking alright. Right, okay, hang on now. I've got the shadow of that tree, that thicket, which is, where is it, there. What I'll do is, just throw a bit of light on it too. So I've also got the light source version of it. What colour is that today? Brown and yellow ochre with the greens. Let's have a look, slightly touch. Lightly drag it, letting the underpaint come through. Good. Change knives. It's a much cooler, bluer. Where are we? Some of those trees out there are much cooler, bluer looking. Already got the shadow tone, like I said. Now I just put some of the light source on. Leaving the undertone of the shadows to come through, of course. Okay. Some blue, magenta. Beautiful shadows at the base here, just at the base of these trees. And they've got a real kind of blue twang to them in this midday light. So, guess what? It's going in. It's going in. That's the edge of a building, that one there, the edge of a shed, which I might just put the roof colour on now. There's a nice kind of green whatever colour, so let's have a look. Green and yellow ochre. With the knife on edge, just pull down. Needs to be a lighter tone than that, so hang on. Yellow ochre, white. Pull down. Now what I'll do is I'll take some paint off the base to get the cleanest bottom edge on that. It'll really make it look like a building then, because it's got such a clean edge on the bottom. It gives you the feeling of a on the bottom of the roof, that is. It'll give you the feeling of a building. I'm going to have to get a different knife out today. Well, only the small one. The little knife for some of those rooftops. There's that stinging cad red. Ooh, that colour is crazy. Bit of white. It's actually too crazy, so I need to knock it back a bit. I'll just throw a little bit of burnt sienna in it. Bit of yellow. Heck, that's a bright colour. Alright. So that'll really pop against that turquoise, so why not put it in, eh? How's that for a rooftop? Here comes a car. Hopefully it doesn't create too much dust. There goes the dust. Luckily it's blowing the other way today. Otherwise I would have gotten showered then, because it's so dry here. It's unbelievable. It's like a serious drought. Now I just took paint off the bottom of that red roof. What's good about painting the roofs is they really start to give the illusion of detail. Because the painting's very loose and just capturing the big impression. I can hear a powerboat in the distance. Because the painting's very loose and just capturing the big impression, putting things like rooftops really starts to put the detail and pull the picture together. Just take some of that paint off the bottom. Don't know if you can hear that powerboat in the distance or not. Another rooftop. It's a really nice little village. Ponga Beach. Great little spot. Okay, what have we got? Get back to that brush to just colour in that area, clean the brush a bit. Just get rid of some of that white that was there. I'll do the same here. I'll just kind of get rid of the whites with the brush first. Pull through so it doesn't look like I've been painting around them. You don't want that look. Here comes another car. Must be peak hour. Alright, I'll stand back. They're all coming through today. Alright. that palette knife. Mix up some dark tone over here with a few magentas and blues and burnt siennas. And it's a fairly light colour. I mightn't go too dark. I'll go more of a yellow ochre and burnt sienna. It's a rich light colour. And what I'm doing is going to paint just a few of these fence posts in that are over here, not too many, you don't get too carried away. Obviously they'll get smaller and closer together as they recede into the distance. Okay, what do we got? Let's have a look. Yeah. Use brush. Oh, where am I going here? Let's have a look. Oops, what was that? What was that? I'm just varying a few of the angles here and there. Because I've used brush already in the sky and the water, it's nearly all been so far palette knife here, right? So what I'm doing is to make the whole painting blend, I'm just using a combination now of a little bit of brush in the landscape itself to help it blend with the rest of the picture. Just soften that edge there, let's have a look at that. Now, and so, an extremely bleachy sunny day today looking in. It's kind of looking into the light, I guess, that's one of the reasons why. When you've got a lot of atmosphere in the air and you're looking into the light like that, well, it's going to be bleached out. Get some more pure whites and oranges. Just pulling them through the road to really give the feeling of a bright midday effect, where the road, putting some of the tyre marks in too, the road is really high key bright. Okay, now with the little knife again, we'll just do a little bit of detail work around some of those farmhouses, creating the illusion of detail. The illusion. Yeah. Blue, magenta. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, just clean up a few of these shadows, add a few more. Got the knife on edge. Too bad there, don't get too carried away. If it's already good, if it's not broke, don't fix it, they say. That again. Just throwing the odd extra stinging rooftop with a bit of that high key stuff, high key orange and yellow. Really makes the painting pop in the focal areas. You can see what I'm doing? Good, I'll go then. I was about to go and I just stopped for a second. I thought I'd better have a look. Right, there's a bit of a road running up here. The road that I'm on winds its way down that hill and then shoots back off out the other side, and I can see a little bit of it and it looks quite interesting. So with the knife on edge, I'm just going to draw a bit of that road in. fine line like so, rolling down. Comes another car. Okay, so that road's there. A few more fence posts on the other side. Flies, cars, dust. There's some good varying angles on these posts. They're kind of busted and bent. That's kind of cool. They'll put all that higgledy-piggledy, give variety. The illusion of detail. Now, when you paint in the order of visual importance, you paint the things that your eye can see the easiest. When you look at the subject for a second, just have a look away. What you saw then is what you should put in. They're the most important things. That's painting in the order of visual importance. Now, at a quick glance, those fence posts actually do show up. So they also give the illusion of detail, like I said. So a bit of human interest too, so put them in. Also, there's a few power poles lying around here and there, or standing around. They are a good way to indicate detail too, with a tall vertical mark. That always gives the feeling of detail too, particularly if the paint comes off the end of the knife. Did that time. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so now what have we got? A bit of pure white. Some of those rooftops right over there are just popping out, and I like the look of that. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't put them in, because they are a long way away, but because I'm enjoying the look of them, and now the beach line, I'll just run that beach line in. Because I'm enjoying the look of them, and it seems to be working in the composition, I've added them in. But if it was distracting you from the subject, I would leave them out. Okay, now I just reinforce where that beach is. It's a bit hard to see here. It's better, now I can see it. Tide's starting to go out by the looks of it, so it's giving that beautiful feel. The rocks are just popping out here and there. Just adding a few of those rocks on the end of that dolphin nose. Okay, now a couple of the rooftops are popping on these farm buildings over here. Right, there we go, yeah. Just here. There's a bit of the top of the water tank giving off a highlight there. Bit of our rooftop in amongst the trees there. Hang on, here comes a car again. This rooftop again. It's better. Take a bit of paint off to clean it up. That's it, yep, nice. illusion of detail, putting those little bits and pieces in. Alright. Alright, well that'll pretty much do it. It's got pretty much the big impression of what I was looking at on the day. It's just one of those classic still days. You know, you've got the haze, you're looking into the light, you've got the coast, you've got the rural surroundings. Good location. Might just pull a little bit of that off there. Just get rid of a couple of white highlights on the edge so they don't draw your attention. Alright, I'll get the camera off and let you have a look at it. No worries, thank you. There's the plein air vehicle. Okay, now let's just have a look around at the general scenery. There's the homesteads and buildings out there. Gives you a feeling of the whole town in general and the whole setup, the whole location. Now let's come in and have a look at the painting. Alright, now you can see it's into the light, and it's very simple tonal effects to give the illusion of light and shadow. And those buildings, like I said earlier, add interest and the illusion of detail, going off to that very hazy distance. Okay, well there it is. Now if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and press the notification bell. That way you'll be made aware of any video as I upload it. No worries, thank you.